Well, the Carolina Panthers are in Arizona today as they get ready to gear up for the second game of the regular season. Of course, joining me now, Carolina Sports Live's Mike Lissette, like we do every Sunday.
I just noticed I have that shirt that you're wearing. You didn't steal my shirt, did you?
Well, no, we're both kind of wearing it.
I know, but that's the one I wore last week. You didn't rummage through my closet and take it, did you?
No, I'm just bringing more good luck for the Panthers, hopefully.
You.
No, I'm just saying, Mike, when we look at this, I mean, let's go ahead and start it off. Brandon said I need to make sound effects after this, but 253 net yards.
Okay. You didn't do it.
No sound effects. But, I mean, golly, this is
bad. Yeah, it was as far as first impressions go last week, the Carolina Panthers did not make a good one. The offense looked very similar to how it looked in last year's opener. Not as bad, but they've got to do something better today. They're going to be challenged on both sides of the ball. Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, he presents a big problem for the defense. And Budda Baker for the Carolina offense. I don't think I've ever heard Carolina speak so highly of a singular defensive player going into a game week, unprompted a lot of times, as they do Budda Baker. They have a lot of respect for him. It's almost like he's an apparition. They know he can be everywhere, and that could cause problems today for Bryce Young.
Well, one of the things that could help is we go to the injury report. We were seeing some of the video. Icky is going to play, right?
Yes, Icky is going to play. He has been out since late August with that emergency appendectomy. He's been very coy about how it's affected him. I asked him to his face, I said, hey, you know, what limitations? And he has not said, I feel stiff or I feel uncomfortable. He's just said it's a matter of going out there and stacking days. That's what he kept saying, stacking good days. So I said to him Thursday, how'd you feel today after putting the pads on? He said, very good. It did not surprise me that he's back in the lineup this week.
I mean, very good in stacking days. I've had that surgery. I mean, I don't recover as quick as Icky, but
you're
I mean,
not playing football after that surgery, too.
After that one either. But when we talk about playing football, and you said it, you got Budda Baker over there that's going to make it tough. You got Kyler Murray on the offensive side. So, I mean, the DBs, they looked good at times. Don't get me wrong, but
JC did look very good.
Right. So what are they going to have to do? Because he can scramble, but then he can just drop that pass over again.
Well, the problem is the secret's out on Carolina, at least through week one, and that's they cannot stop the run. So they're expecting Arizona to try to challenge them that way. They're prepared for that. The problem is when you prepare too much for that way, then they go to the air attack, and that could be a problem too. Carolina's going to have their hands full. There is no doubt about that, but I know the team is motivated. I know they were embarrassed by what happened last week, and I know they want to make things right.
And T-Mac returning to Arizona, so hopefully there'll be a little bit of a push.
Well,
right?
You talk about T-Mac last week. I'm sure you guys saw it. I mean, he was probably the one bright spot of the Panthers last week. He did not at all look like a rookie. He looked very comfortable. He was Bryce Young's top target, which was a very good sign considering they traded his last top target, Adam Thielen. So no drop off there. He's a rookie, though. So you cannot expect him to be 100% all the time. He's going to give you 100% effort, but there's going to be peaks and valleys. You just hope no valley comes today.
Yeah,
in the Valley of the Sun.
In the Valley. There were 68 yards from T-Mac. Okay, of course, we have to talk about it. 10 a.m. BBKL. What you guys got coming up?
Well, we are actually going one-on-one with Tedero McMillan. We're talking about his first week in the NFL. What was it like? I mean, the dream is here. Now, what's the reality like? So that's the conversation. The other cool thing, the other receiver that you know, got some criticism last week was XL. I think he's a very good player, but I also think he's got a very good sandwich coming to Bank of America Stadium, the raccoon-inspired sandwich. I got to try it. You're going to see the review. You're going to see what I thought. This is must-see TV, folks. You got to watch it.
And we're not talking real raccoon, right?
No, no raccoons were harmed in the making of that sandwich. It's beef brisket. The raccoon thing is it's a marbleized bun, so when you see that swirl, it reminds you of the raccoon eyes. You know, that's what it was. And by the way, the chefs there are very confident that people will realize that it's not real raccoon. And I'm spreading the news here. It's not real raccoon.
Sounds good.
On sale next week.
Sounds good. Carolina Sports Live's Mike Lissette. And as we were talking about the shirts, my friend, mine is, you know, closer to black and blue than, than the one you're wearing.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I'm wearing the red tie. I just pick out what's clean in the closet, folks, okay? This one looked good. Leave me alone, Brandon.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.